Before proceeding any further with this video, I have linked below the following videos, which is the whole story of what's been going on with my channels. So the first part was called What's Been Happening to My Channels. Part 1 episode was called Enough is Enough, You Need to Know About This. Then the story continued, so I did a part 2, and that was called Important, You Need to Watch This if you have a YouTube channel. And then I did a part 3 called Naming and Shaming plus free legal advice. As I say, I will link all of these below, so do go and take a look at those before proceeding forward so you get the full story. This episode continues on with the part of the story where on my channel Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty channel, I got a message saying my video has been taken down from YouTube, Cypress Donkey. Now firstly, it is not a video, it is 15 seconds short, which YouTube told me initially music used on a short is not an issue if it's 15 seconds or less, hence the length of a short. Now the music I've used is music I can use, so there should have been no issue anyway, but they keep talking to me that it's a full video and it is not. But as I've mentioned before, the policies keep changing. I'm sure you get an email literally every month telling you YouTube policies have changed. I guarantee you don't read those policies, but if you've had issues, you will find issues where you are in the right and YouTube is wrong. They then change their policies, and if you continue to use YouTube, you have to follow new policies. So this is a little bit of a scandal that goes on with a lot of companies, that they can change their policies, but if you sign up to anything, you cannot change anything. So this said, Hi Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, we received a copyright removal request for your video. Based on applicable copyright laws, we remove your video from YouTube. And as I say, it is a short, not a video. Also note at this point that short was taken from a full video on my channel, and it's the same music, the same content, that still remains up with no issues, which I did also mention, but they ignored that. And as I've said before, the removal request is actually a third party. When I emailed them, I've said about this before, when I emailed them, they said they don't work for me, they work for the owner of the music and will have nothing to do with me. And when I contact the owner of the video, this is where YouTube tells you to go. When you go there, they say nothing. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I now have a copyright strike, which I should not have. And this video continues with the fact of how I'm trying to get it removed. This previous video that I've done is all about me contacting all these different companies who either pass you on to someone else or you get no replies. So all this is what we're carrying on about today. That part of it says, if you believe you're not at fault in one or more of the instances, you can appeal by submitting a counter notification. Okay, so we've done all this before, but what I'm showing you is what happens when they don't want to change it, when you do a counter notification. So the counter notification, I got this response from them. Now, as you can see, it's in Greek. But when you sign up to YouTube, it doesn't matter what country you sign up from or what the language is. You say which language you use. So I applied to YouTube when I first joined up and put I wanted English. And in the bottom of this message they sent me, they also put my claim. So these words are my claim, but they do add to it. So be aware of that. So I'd sent them, the email you say is the owner only responds by saying they are third party and do not respond to strike issues. The music I have clearly states it can be used on YouTube videos, and there's the info of it. So do be aware of this person, this Nextlow or whatever it is. Don't use their music, even though it says you can. And part of their statement is all this is their channel, and they say best vlog, no copyright music, that is non-copyrighted, so you can use it in your YouTube videos. It clearly states, therefore I can use this music on YouTube, yet I have a strike on my channel for using it. I've previously had other copyrights of this music cleared for use in previous videos, so no reason for a strike. And then they give me more blah, blah, blah. So I respond again. And I said, my translate is not working. I wrote in English, so expect reply in the same language as registered on YouTube account, please. But I did manage to translate it. I can't translate on my platform here, even though I've got a translator, it doesn't seem to work. So I had to go into Chrome. So I did eventually manage to translate it. And it says, thank you for your counter notification. Unfortunately, it is not clear to us whether you have a valid reason to submit a counter notification. So we will not be able to comply with your request. Counter notifications are only used in cases where context is removed due to error, yes it is, or misidentification. Such cases include, for example, the belief that your content is covered by copyright limitations or exceptions, such as fair use, fair dealing, or uses for the purpose of quotation, criticism, review, caricature, parody, or imitation. Please note that using this process may allow the claimant to take legal action. There we go again with this, ooh, scare you, against you for copyright infringement. So it's a good idea to evaluate your legal position before submitting a counter notification. What you can do now, ask the copyright holder to retract it, whereas I say they won't respond because they're in the wrong, or simply wait for the strike to expire. Now I don't really know what that means. If it expires, is the music still there? Has the music been reused? Has the music been removed, or what? And I didn't get the chance that you do sometimes get to just remove the music or change the music or dub it. If you're certain your video is incorrectly identified as being infringed and you're willing to dispute the copyright owner's action against you, you can resubmit your counter notification. Be sure to explain in detail why you own all the necessary rights to the video's content. So I did resubmit it. So I filled in yet another form, and that came back to say that they didn't have all the information. So I wrote, all the form was filled in. You need to specify what is required to proceed further to reinstate my video, which had a fake copyright claim on it, and my channel given a strike, which was not valid. Then I got another message back from them. And this message said, hi Dawn, I hope you're doing well. My name is Nessa. I'm manager on the YouTube support experience team. I understand you're concerned with your counter notification. Upon checking, it doesn't appear the Google account you're signed into is linked with the YouTube channel you want to discuss. To protect the security of our partners, we can only provide support to authorised channel administrators. You can either, and it says how you can do that, Keep in mind, before replying, it can take up to 1 day to authorise a new channel manager before we can discuss account details and blah, blah, blah. So I replied, strange that the email came to this one. So this is where I replied, and that was the email before saying about how I need to do a counterclaim. And then I got this response. Hi Dawn, thank you for responding. As much as we would like to proceed on this, we can't, since your email contact is not authorised. I hope this answers your concern. So basically they're not anymore acknowledging my channel, and this is how they have contacted me with all the issues. So I went back purely onto Tranquility YouTube channel rather than an email, and then I got this reply in an email. Here is the first one that I showed you before, the one in Greek. If you look very carefully, the one they've resent me after that, in reply to what I've just read to you, is exactly that same Greek message that I translated and read to you. It's a generic reply to anyone who tries to put in a counter claim. No matter what you've said, no matter what you do, they just give exactly the same response. It's a vicious circle. I'm not going to make any more videos on this matter. I now have so much evidence. I've done you 4 short videos on just a few of the evidence I've collected, not just for this, but of other situations on more than one channel, all their replies. I have logged every single thing. I have copies of every single thing. As I said on the last video, what you need to do, guys, if you have this situation, collect every single bit of communication, do everything through emails and save it in documents. Don't just keep it up as an email. So do save everything. Get an exercise book, write down every single thing, keep all dates, keep all communication, and I say turn negatives into positives. The worse it got, the more they kept on and making rubbish, and it just takes you round in a circle, which if you've ever gone for compensation with any companies before, you will go round and round in circles, and then when you think you might be getting somewhere, they start back at the beginning again, or we've lost this information, or we don't have this information. And as you see, this email is just going to be the generic one that keeps coming up. So I've saved all that. As I say, negatives into positive, it will wear you down. You might have to go 3 years sorting it out. You do not need to pay a lawyer as long as you keep the records, because that is all they will do. And when they give you threats, as in these emails, oh, will be taken to court, just respond, as long as you know you're correct, take me to court. Take me to court, or change it. And that is all you have to respond. But as I say, the negatives of all of this happening make a positive by having so much evidence. And check back my last video where I give you more advice as to other evidence that is not direct to you, but they set a precedence by allowing people to do wrong in different respects and allowing it, and then stop you when you are 100% in the right. So as I say, I'm not going to do any more videos, because the other thing you must know is that if you're going for compensation, I said before, don't go for the first or the second amount offered to you. It might sound good to you if you don't have knowledge of amounts of compensation, but wait for at least the third amount and make sure it is worth your while. Add up all your time, stress, effort, just the time of replying to all these things, and how much money you think you've lost if it is taking down videos. And as I say, I'm not talking more of it, because once you accept a payout, it is always on the condition that you do not discuss the situation or the payout. I have, as I say, I've gone for big companies before and got compensation. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. There has been past snippets in past videos, little odd bits in lives. Keep your eyes and ears open. If you see me spending money, who knows? Was it from here? Was it from somewhere else? I cannot talk about compensation and how much I get. So this will be the end. Do look at the other videos and keep your chin up. Do not let these big companies beat you. They have more to lose if you take them to court. Let me know your issues with YouTube and any other companies or social media, and all the best to you, and thanks for listening.